I was standing in an empty hospital room at 2 a.m. when I realized I'd wasted 15 years of my life chasing something that didn't matter. My father had just passed away 3 hours earlier, and I wasn't there. I was in a business meeting 2,000 miles away, closing a deal I thought was important. The nurse handed me a plastic bag with his belongings, his wallet, his watch, and a photo of me as a kid, worn at the edges from being carried everywhere. That's when it hit me. While I was building my career, attending meetings, and checking emails at dinner, he was carrying a picture of his 7-year-old son, hoping that kid would come back someday. He never did. I'm going to share something with you today that took me losing everything to understand. And if you're watching this, there's a chance you're making the same mistake I made. So stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly what I wish someone had told me before it was too late. Let me take you back to where this all started. I was 25, fresh out of college, hungry to prove myself. My first real job at a tech company. I remember my dad calling me every Sunday. Every single Sunday. And you know what I did? I'd let it go to voicemail. Not because I was busy. I just thought I'd call him back later. There was always later. My mom would text me about family dinners. We're all getting together Saturday. And I'd reply with the same excuse every time. Work deadline, big project, important presentation. The truth, I could have made time. I just didn't think it mattered that much. Here's what I believed back then. I believed success meant sacrifice. I believed that family would always be there, that I could catch up with them once I made it. I believed I had all the time in the world. I was wrong about everything. The promotions came, the salary increased. I bought a nice car, moved into a bigger apartment. On paper, I was winning, but something strange started happening. The phone calls from my dad went from every Sunday to every other Sunday. Then once a month, then they just stopped. I didn't notice. I was too busy being successful. My sister got married. I missed the wedding because of a conference in Singapore. My nephew was born. I met him when he was 8 months old. My mom's birthday came and went. I sent flowers with a card that my assistant wrote. You know what's crazy? I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought providing for myself, building my future, climbing that ladder was what life was about. I thought my family understood. They did understand. That's the worst part. They understood that I had chosen something else over them. 3 years ago, my dad got diagnosed with heart disease. My mom called me crying, telling me he needed surgery. I said I'd visit soon. I didn't. I had a product launch, then a team off-site. Then the holidays were too expensive to fly. There was always a reason. He called me 2 months before he died. I was in back-to-back meetings all day, so I texted him, "Can't talk now, Dad. Love you. Call you this weekend." I never called that weekend, or the next one. The last thing my father heard from me was a text message. When I got the call that he was in the hospital, that it was serious, I told my boss I needed to leave immediately. He said, "We have the investor meeting tomorrow. Can't you go after?" And here's the most shameful part. I actually considered it. For about 10 seconds, I weighed my dying father against a meeting with investors. I flew out that night, but I was too late. He'd been asking for me for hours, kept telling the nurses, "My son's coming. He's on his way." but I wasn't on my way fast enough. Standing in that hospital room, holding that worn photograph, something inside me broke. All those meetings, all those emails, all those important calls, none of it mattered. Not even a little bit. The promotion I got that year? Meaningless. The bonus? Pointless. The recognition from my boss? Empty. I would have traded everything I'd built in my entire career for 5 more minutes with my dad. Here's what nobody tells you when you're young and ambitious. Time doesn't wait. Your parents are getting older every single day. Your siblings are living their lives right now. Your family is happening in real time, and you can't pause it while you go chase success. I thought I could make it up to them later. There is no later. Later is a lie we tell ourselves to feel better about the choices we're making today. After the funeral, I went home to clean out my dad's house. In his office, I found something that destroyed me. He had a folder on his desk labeled, "Things to Show My Son." Inside were newspaper clippings about my industry, articles he'd saved about my company, printouts of my LinkedIn updates. He was following my career because it was the only way he could be part of my life. He was proud of me. Even though I gave him nothing, he was still proud. I also found a journal. The last entry was from 2 weeks before he died. It said, "Called my boy today. No answer. I know he's busy making his mark on the world. I just hope one day he'll have time to tell me about it in person. I'll wait." He waited, and I never came. That was my breaking point. I quit my job the next month. Not because work is bad, but because I'd let it consume everything that actually mattered. I'd optimized my entire life for success and forgotten to live it. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. But I need to work. I have bills. I have responsibilities. You're right. I'm not saying quit your job and live on a beach. I'm saying something much simpler and much harder. Make the call. Show up. Be present. Here's what I learned too late. Your family doesn't need your money. They need you. They need your time, your attention, your presence. That's it. They want to hear about your day. They want to share meals with you. They want to know you still care. My career gave me everything I thought I wanted and cost me everything I actually needed. I have money in the bank, but nobody to share it with. I have success stories, but nobody who wants to hear them anymore. I have achievements, but they feel hollow because the people who would have been most proud aren't here to see them. My sister barely talks to me now. We're polite at holidays, but the closeness we had, gone. I miss too many moments. My nephew doesn't really know me. Why would he? I was never around. My mom answers my calls now, but there's a distance that wasn't there before. I created that distance, one missed call at a time. You might think you have time. You might think they understand. You might think there will be a better moment later to reconnect. I thought all of those things too. Let me tell you exactly what happens when later becomes too late. You stand in an empty room, holding your parents' belongings, and you realize that every single excuse you made was just that. An excuse. Nothing you were doing was more important than the people who loved you unconditionally. The meeting I was in when my dad died. That deal fell through 2 months later. The company I was so committed to, I don't even work there anymore. The career I sacrificed everything for, it's just a line on a resume now. But my dad, he's gone forever. and I can't get back a single moment. Here's what I want you to do right now. After this video ends, I want you to call someone in your family. Not text, call. And if you can, go see them. Don't wait until it's convenient. Don't wait until you've accomplished more. Don't wait until you're less busy. Go now. Tell them you love them. Ask about their day. Share a meal. Watch their favorite show with them, even if you think it's boring. Take the photo. Make the memory. Be there. Because I promise you, on your deathbed, you won't wish you'd worked more. You won't wish you'd answered more emails. You won't wish you'd attended more meetings. You'll wish you'd picked up the phone. You'll wish you'd shown up. You'll wish you'd said yes instead of later. I can't undo my mistakes. I can't bring my dad back. I can't recover those 15 years I threw away. But maybe, just maybe, if you're hearing this message, you still can. Your family isn't going to be here forever. Stop acting like they will be. Stop treating their time as less valuable than your boss's time. Stop choosing everything else over the people who would drop everything for you. I'm not special. I'm not the only person who's made this mistake, but I'm hoping that by sharing my story, I can save at least one person from living with the regret that eats at me every single day. Success is great, ambition is important, but none of it means anything if you're alone at the end. And trust me, if you keep choosing work over family, you will end up alone. Not because they stop loving you, but because you've taught them that you have better things to do than love them back. That photo my dad carried, I have it now. It sits on my desk, and every time I look at it, I see that 7-year-old kid who loved his dad more than anything in the world. Somewhere along the way, I stopped being that kid. I became someone who was too busy, too important, too focused on the next big thing. I'd give everything I have to be that kid again. To have one more Sunday phone call, one more family dinner, one more chance to say, I love you, in person instead of in a text message sent between meetings. You still have that chance. Don't waste it like I did. Your family is the most valuable thing you'll ever have. Not your career, not your bank account, not your achievements, your family, the people who knew you before you were successful, the people who will love you even if you fail, the people who remember who you really are, underneath all the ambition and stress. I ruined my life by ignoring this truth. Please don't make my mistake. The time to change isn't tomorrow. It isn't next week when things calm down. It isn't after the next promotion or project. It's right now, this moment, today. Make the call, show up, be present, while you still can. Because I promise you, the day will come when you can't anymore. And on that day, you'll wish more than anything that you had just one more chance to do what I'm telling you to do right now. Don't wait until it's too late. I did, and it's a regret I'll carry for the rest of my life.